Hello everyone, I'm Christian Maxwell Carter. I've been here recently talking about the Liberian passports on why we need a 10-year passport rather than the 5-year passport that we currently have. And today I decided to make a little layout to explain why we need the 10-year passport. Not deeply explaining why we need the 10-year passport, but how the 5-year passport affect us and how the 10 years passport could be a better alternative to the 5 years passport that we currently have. So let's just get into it because I got a class in an hour. So I need to do this as fast as I can. So we'll look at the people impact. Citizens at home. Citizens at home. Liberian passport is not cheap. Sorry, not everybody can afford the Liberian passport. So people who actually do, not all of them had the amount. But if they were able to stack it up and then pay for the 5 years passport, and let's say they happen to get an opportunity that enables them to leave the country and go somewhere, be there for study or work or whatever reason, they would need a passport with a maximum validity time. And if their passport don't meet the time limit, that means they have to get the passport renewed, which also affects the travel process because we know how passport business is in Liberia. It takes time. Based on the fact that there's only one foreign ministry in Liberia, so foreign affairs is just in Central Monrovia, nowhere else. That caused a whole lot of workload since that one foreign ministry now have to deal with 5 million people. It caused a whole lot of workload. And each of the 5 million people have to return every 5 years, which also costs a lot for the people in finance and with time. Also caused a lot of workload for the administration. And now we look at administrative burden. I've already started stitching. Foreign ministry only have one building to work for everybody, every Liberian citizen, be it citizens in the country or citizens in the diaspora. We only have one building to do all of our renewals and passport applications. So knowing that, it causes a lot of burden on the administration because the amount of citizens that go there for passport application or passport renewal, I mean, if you go there like 10 a.m. or after 12 in the afternoon, you will meet like a whole queue of people at the entrance. You will meet people sitting inside, people in a little hut-like waiting area outside, and you see people outside the fence waiting to get in. It's just a lot. And the way to reduce that is at least remove the people for the renewal process. Because with a 10 years passport, you're not going to go back there until after your 10-year passport expires. And if that happens, that remove the hassle of going back every 5 years. It reduces the amount of people that have to renew their passport, both at home and in the diaspora. So now we look at student impact. So let's talk about students living abroad. Students abroad actually face this the worst way. Because we don't just face the cost, oh yeah, I'm one of them. We don't just face the cost of the passport and the wait time, we also got to consider transportation. In my situation, for me, or from my city to the Liberian embassy, it's $100 one way. $100 one way, $100 to get back. That's $200. The Liberian passport, $160 or $180. I'm not quite sure. I checked it the last time, but I think I've forgotten, so I will look it up again. So that's $200 plus $160 or $180. $360 or $380. That's a lot of money. And if I'm going to stay here longer or maybe I want to go somewhere else to get a PhD. That also extends my time, which means I need to pay that amount again. And let's look at students in France. They have to go to Belgium. That's about $400 or $500 in a trip before you can even pay the fee for the passport. So it's not cheap on us. It costs students a lot of money that most students don't have. Most parents are already struggling to cater to the students' financial needs, and then passport situation every 5 years. It costs a lot of financial constraint. And then you gotta consider the wait time. You might get your passport in, a month if you're lucky. If not, you get it when you get it. Which create a whole other scope of problems. Because let's say your visa is closer to its expiration time, as well as your passport, that creates a huge problem for you. Because without your passport, you can't renew the visa. And if you can't renew the visa, you obviously know you're there illegally, which is a problem. So now we'll move on to business impact. So entrepreneurs and business persons who want to go and then start up a business somewhere else that may or may not benefit the Liberian people. That's not what we're talking about today. That may be a topic for another day, hopefully. But if that person will have to leave the country and then, or they have like a job or company filing in for them, they need a passport with a valid time as well. If they don't have the passport with the valid time, they need to get a passport renewed, which means they need to go through the same problem, the same situation as everybody. They have to wait and then go to the queue before paying and then wait again to get the passport. A lot of stress. And even if their passport have time and then they happen to leave the country, renewal process is also a lot of stress. Let's say you get to a country that Liberia doesn't have an embassy in. What not? You have to go to the nearest country. That's a lot of money in transportation, excluding the fee for the passport. So, looking at these three impacts, 10-year passport actually covered all of this and put everybody within a better situation. Within 10 years, the people at home can lessen at the ministry, which means there will be less people going in every month or every year. There will be less renewal process because people with 10 years passport have to renew their passport once in a decade. So less renewal process or renewal applications. Administrative burden. Less renewal application means less burden on the ministry. So less burden on the administration means more productive work, less mistakes, less hassle. Student impact. With a 10-year passport, every student everywhere from Liberia will be able to complete whatsoever study they're doing, be it bachelor's, master's, PhD. Every student will be able to complete it and return home within that 10 years. Bachelor's 4 years, 3 years some country. Master's is 2 years, 1 year some country. PhD is 4 years, 3 years some country. Everything still fits within scope. 4 years, 4 years, 2 years. That's 10 years. Study completed. Business. So the entrepreneurs and the business people with a long validity term on the passport, it creates a more productive scope. So they don't have to worry about how they're going to get the passport renewed. They don't have to worry about where they're going to find an embassy to get the passport renewed, how long they're going to wait to get the passport renewed, if it's going to affect their visas. They don't have to worry about none of that because they have enough time to get their business done and return home. So let's look at the economic angle. Short-term passports are outdated. They're not beneficial for the citizens and for the country. Let's look at the countryside. A short-term passport means the country have to buy passports every 5 years. I don't know how many passports to buy. I haven't done the research about that yet, so I'm not going to get into that. But I know for a fact that if there were only 10 citizens in Liberia, every 5 years, the country have to buy 10 passports. Every 5 years, 10 passports. Every 5 years, 10 passports. With a 10 years passport, it reduced the purchase time, which reduced the cost of passports, which is way beneficial for the country and the citizen. Everybody happy. Win-win. Long-term efficiency. We need a 10 years passports. I've already said enough about the long-term efficiency. Lastly, let's look at our neighbors. Honestly, let's look at Ghana, Guinea, Nigeria. They're all practicing the 10-year scheme because they know that 5 years don't give you enough time to get everything you want to get done within the diaspora. 5 years costs more for both the citizens and the country, more workload for the country, and more stress and frustration for the citizens. 10-year passport reduce all of that drastically. Better wait time, less hassle, everything move efficiently. So, with this being said, if people actually need me to go in depth, I can do that. I can do a thorough research on everything and then make a more in-depth video. But for now, let's just get this message to the person it needs to get to. We need a 10-year passport. 5 years not making the cut no more. So, once again, I'm Christian Maxwell Carter. Thank you for being here. I hope this helps.